Hello and welcome to another round of Spudventures. This week we are beginning the third and final proper session of the Blood Virulent, our first ever Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition Chronicle, set in Sedona by night. And with me, I'm your storyteller, Newbiespud, and with me is VerminQuest as Sylvia Lane, the Tremere.
Hello.
Azure Mountain as Dr. Bright the Caitiff.
Hey.
Oblivious as Gabriel Carter, the Brujah.
That's me.
Avis as Dr. Circe Aislinn, the Gangrel.
In the event of my disappearance, do not call the police.
And Space Jawa as Kazimer Grigori, the Ventrue.
Guess who's got two fangs and can make, lose, and make more in one night than you'll ever have in a lifetime?
It's this guy. He sure can count money. And where we left off last time, you all attended a masquerade ball, because that was clearly the best idea. But, not only...
It was, without question, the best idea.
I mean, it was pretty good. I can't really deny that. But there were a couple of complications. Not only did, Sylvia's stalker make a reappearance...
Yeah.
Not only did one of the other Sedona gangrels kind of cause a scene and maybe let slip that he's got some explosive projects around town, but you also kind of got the police called on the place. And while none of them made it far enough inside to see you all hanging out being vampires, it's still kind of concerning that, and through Circe's contact in the police, the officer who, usually works the night shift and gets called to the vet clinic because of the creepy van outside, that it was one Catherine McKenzie who called the police because of all the suspicious characters going into Kazimer Grigori's mansion. And she made up a story about, criminal drug activity or whatever, but now it's got all the other 8 vampires who make up the sort of vampire town council of Sedona all kind of on edge, because having the police nearly bust a vampire meeting is kind of a bullet dodged in many respects. Because you all go to great lengths not to associate with each other too much in ways that other people can see. Because otherwise, why are these random 13 people all meeting in the dead of night? Might lead to some uncomfortable questions. So now there is sort of as the meeting is winding down, and a couple of people are leaving in staggered groups so that they don't see, no one who might be watching might see you leave all at once. There's sort of an animus to deal with this potential problem, because from what anyone else knows of this woman, she's not the sort of person who's going to stop.
Yeah.
But
So,
as you 5 are the ones who spend kind of the most full time in either because you spend the most full time in Sedona, or because you are the most direct subjects of her ire, being Dr. Bright and Circe. You guys kind of have the priority leadership on how you want to decide to deal with her. But with the sort of underlying threat that if you take too long, someone else might enact their plan, and it might not be as clean. Anyway, that's the end of my spiel. You are all still in Grigori's mansion in the sealed-off Haven wing.
So did the vampire who thought he might have been the one called on, is he still hiding out, or did he sneak away as well?
He is still hiding out. He is not trying to hide from anyone at this point. He knows that the game is up. Yeah, he after he swung at people and got into fear frenzy and then was like intimidated into compliance by Dr. Bright, he's just been like, he's just kind of rethinking things a little bit in the little quiet room as he's waiting for his instincts to stop flaring up.
Okay, so he's basically just locked away right at the moment.
Yeah. At this moment, he is a non-issue. So,
Okay.
what do you all talk about? What do you all decide?
So I think
So-
like, oh, go ahead.
Yeah. A couple thoughts I've had are A, someone could make her a thrall, but I don't know why anyone would want to have her specifically as a thrall, aside from her not being an issue anymore.
Yeah, want would be a strong word in that particular
That
context.
would
Yeah.
seem to cause more problems than it would solve.
Well, who
And
knows?
B,
Being bound by blood is... Mortals find it hard to resist. It would take a particularly strong will to break free of that.
Well, if she's a particularly strong Karen, that she might be the kind of person that would be inclined to.
She might just be spiteful enough to break a blood bond, yeah. That's also a possibility.
the other idea I had was if anyone has the dominate level 3 forgetful mind. But I don't know that anyone does.
No. I don't.
I don't think anyone has a level 3, do they?
I do. It's not. It doesn't work here though.
Yeah, yours is
Yeah.
in what, animalism or...
Protean?
It's
I think.
Protean.
Protean.
Pretty sure it's the Protean level 3. Is
hell
it?
did I
Yes,
do
it's
that?
the Protean level 3.
Somehow I put my shoes
The one
on
that lets you
backwards,
transform
that's
into a snow leopard, right?
Yes.
Whatever that one is, that's the one you got the level 3 in.
Yes.
I think
It's the
that one.
Protean.
But no, amongst the 5 of you, there's no one that can just give her the old brainwash to make her stop caring about this. And truth be told, vampires with that level of strong, like that level of mind control are kind of few and far between. They tend to be like older, more powerful vampires who are capable of like making their own domains. They tend
Which
not
seems
to
kinda
stick
overkill in
around.
this place.
They tend not to stick around. Yeah, you're not going to find a powerful mind controller in Sedona, where no one really wants or needs to mind control anybody. It's to lay low. Well, not that they
Yeah.
couldn't, not that they couldn't fit in, but like mind controllers tend to gravitate towards places of high priority, where their
If I
skills
might
are.
offer a plan, I believe that perhaps I could hire a few private investigators to quietly see what kind of skeletons she has hiding in her own closet, or perhaps even things where she is seemingly innocently breaking things that normally she would pester other people about, and then we use these to give her a taste of her own medicine.
Well,
You could also call the cops, since doing a fake 911 call is a federal offense, and press charges.
But do
Yeah,
you
and then
want to
just-
appear in court for that? Do
We
you,
don't
as a
need to.
vampire, want to?
We
They
have
will- they-
Cazimer.
They will ask
it's probably
you to.
in the middle of the day.
Yeah, they will ask you
We
to.
have
appear
Cazimer
in-
hire body doubles to do it for us.
Well,
It's,
mean-
it's pressing charges on a federal crime and invoking slander and libel to a person of high regard.
The courts kind of have this. The courts kind of have this thing where you need to, where the
Yeah.
accused has a right to face their accuser. You can't really file a suit anonymously and then not appear before each other. At least not
It's been
not in U.S. courts.
It's been tried, but not really successfully for obvious reasons. Also, it's the issue isn't that we don't have a strong case. It's more like we have supernatural things to worry about.
Little bit.
Right, but we are
also-
currently. Oh.
Just side note, I'm just making an assumption here, but or I was making an assumption that I never actually cleared up. Is she actually like one of the members of the neighborhood watch or the homeowners association, that kind of thing?
Yes.
Yes, actually. I imagine that this prompts a little bit of Googling
Yes.
to maybe because I said flippantly a while ago that, her husband is on some kind of city board and she's a member of the homeowners association and neighborhood watch, all that jazz. Specifically, her husband, Kurt McKenzie, is a elected councilor on the city council of the city of Sedona.
I was kind of hoping his name was Harold. Oh well.
That was one of the ones I considered. I ended up on Kurt. I'm not sure why. It just kind of felt right. Kurt McKenzie kind of rolls off the tongue.
It does.
Kurt has been an attorney for 30 years and knows a thing or two about the law. Catherine herself is on the board of directors for the New Dawn Homeowners Association, which oversees upwards of 70 of the best properties in eastern Sedona, like all the best condominiums and cul-de-sac houses.
This is hitting a little too close to home.
She's on the board of directors and specifically has the role of vice president of social events and safety. So if you're having a pool party, she comes by to say that the maximum occupancy has been exceeded. If you're having a garage sale, she comes by to say that you're too close to the street. And if you're putting up Christmas lights, God help you.
She's not just a Karen, she's a super Karen.
Yeah, she...
Mega Karen.
The New Dawn Homeowners Association is quite powerful, but if you're the kind of person that you're looking to buy a high-value property and you're very concerned about the value of that property appreciating rather than dropping over time, you like the New Dawn Homeowners Association. If you're anyone else, you don't want to ever get into their circle.
All hail Queen of the Karens.
So what if
these people are connected and entrenched?
What if we did some digging and managed to find out if, or I don't know, if something were to come out, possibly fabricated, that would kind of put that whole situation in jeopardy? Like, what if she had something that was, really going to be bad for that homeowners association if it came out?
Well, these kind of people, you usually don't have to fabricate something. They usually have something hidden underneath. You just have to dig it up.
So, here's a thing. Reading through the rules, under ghouls, which are, I think by definition, thralls, the aging process halts, sometimes even setting the clock back a few years. I feel like that would be something that would bring the Karen to want to continue having that happen. Miss McKenzie. Or was it Mrs. McKenzie?
Mrs. McKenzie.
Yeah.
See, I still think that, bringing her in is gonna do more harm than good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to do something that is against their riddance will requires a resolve and intelligence versus bond strength check.
I mean, that's why I'm going back to, we don't do this in a supernatural matter. We do it in a way that, we, exploit the system.
I don't think that bringing her into the fold in any aspect is going to be beneficial for anyone in the long term.
Yeah.
She would almost certainly have no idea. She almost certainly, overstep.
She would benefit from this.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, if you get your
So
fangs into
that's
her,
just-
she's going to get her claws into you. And then
That's
you have
just that.
then you have to deal with her for longer.
We'll just take that idea and we're just gonna stuff it down the garbage disposal.
Yes.
I imagine at this, you're kind of all huddled. It's like, okay, what do we do about her? We could turn her into a ghoul. We could affect her mind. Then it's like, then we have to. Then someone brings up like, then we actually have to. She's gonna want more of the life-extending blood, and she's gonna whine about it all the time. And then just like everyone just like quietly drops it.
She is the kind of person that I could see exposing the Masquerade on purpose just out of spite.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
We're gonna take this idea and we're gonna set it on fire.
No, you're putting it
Let's
through
not
the
get
garbage
fire
disposal.
involved, all right? That's
We're
a bit much.
putting this idea out into the sun.
We're
Anyway,
lighting a
so-
dumpster fire specifically so we can throw this idea into it.
So generally you could, like, obviously killing her is kind of like
Yeah, not
out of the
a good
question.
idea.
Because this is a small town, and a murder in a small town, that goes into the rumor mill for ages.
I mean, someone of her stature, a murder is going to attract attention no matter where you are.
Yeah, but
yeah, like
just in
we could try.
not even in terms of like investigation, but like just in like the local culture, that will set everyone on edge.
Even if they're like, I'm not losing any sleep over it, but
But they're gonna talk about it,
yeah, that.
and they'll be a little bit more guarded in the night.
So we could try to create some sort of scandal with her at the center. But with her connections, she might be able to just get that stomped out.
Depends on how public the scandal is.
At this point, I would like to mention, I don't want to interrupt like or try to force you down a particular path, but I do want to mention that you are kindred. That the Camarilla really love that word kindred. You know, you're all in this together, even though a lot of the Camarilla are backstabbing SOBs. You can rely on some of the resources of your fellow vampires if they happen to have more connections or more resources to throw at the problem.
Well, we already have someone with the most resources to throw at the problem.
There's more resources than just money.
Kazimer has a lot of money.
Yeah.
But there's also political capital and favors.
See, I'm going to go back to, as a starting point, hiring some private investigators to try and see if we can dig up anything we can use without having to create a situation.
Oblivious, doesn't Gabriel also know another Ventrue who owes him a boon?
Yes, he does, actually. I was just thinking about that, but I was wondering how to apply that. That's why I was quiet for a moment.
Calling in a boon is really as simple as sending them a message that says, hey, remember that thing I did for you? I need you to do a thing for me. And then you'd basically arrange a meeting and talk about it.
Let's see. He's a Ventrue, so he probably wouldn't appreciate an email. Let me get out my calligraphy pens.
Now, is this related to the vampire kid night one that was punched in the face and went running out into the night and we never heard from again?
Yes, that's
Yes.
true.
That's exactly what we were talking about.
Do we ever know what happened to that vampire kid?
No,
Probably went back
Punch
to
in the face and he got one.
implied that he went crying back to his sire, who had some bad news for him.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I was under the impression that was still a floating plot thread.
Could be.
Also, I forgot to say this earlier, but I feel like it bears mentioning. I think that stalker guy's been more persistent than some main bad guys I've seen in a campaign.
I know.
Well, he's now,
I'm already bringing her home.
he's
What do
already
you want?
that stalker is
let's-
now like in the custody of the police because he broke into a rich person's home. So
Oh yeah, he committed the real crime of messing with the affluent.
so he will be sitting in the local jail cell for a little while.
Then you get a phone call. It's like, this is my one phone call. I have to.
That actually happens canonically.
Good thing she's not at her home, so it's fine.
Okay.
You wasted your one phone call, sir. Congrats.
And it adds
No,
to the
it's-
public
it's
prosecutor's case against him.
You see, it's even better because here's the thing. It's not the one phone call thing is actually a myth, and the guy can call as many times as
No,
he gets until he gets what he needs.
I block the number of the Sedona Correctional Department on my
This particular guy like believes in the one call myth, and so only requests one to start.
36 missed calls. Not pulling the pin on that girl.
At least that means he's not getting a lawyer that fast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I
calls keep coming until he gets a lawyer, and then they stop.
It's like, yeah, you're kind of wanted for stalking. Maybe don't look like a stalker.
But by then it's already too
I would
late.
say less stop and more just slow down.
Oh, no,
No,
just,
it's
just stop
stop.
stalking.
You're not
I have a
required
feeling
to.
even if he was like advised that legally it's better for you to not do it, he would probably still do it every now and then. Like maybe just tone it down from like every hour to once a day.
That's still
Or
pretty
just-
bad.
Still very bad, yeah. But
didn't-
he's
We
not
didn't say
good.
he redeemed himself.
you might need Sylvia might need to change her number.
Yeah.
Again.
It's been a while since
yes.
the last one.
Cazimer, you have enough money. Buy Sylvia a new phone and a new number.
Oh dear. Yeah, I didn't mean to derail everything, but I was just thinking about that.
That was fun.
But yes, well, I'm pretty sure Casimir actually has calligraphy pens because
That's up
Wouldn't
to
surprise
Casimir.
me.
Casimir might have scribe.
yeah, you might actually have a professional scribe. It's like, why do you have it? You know what? Never mind. I don't even want to know.
When
I have a
asking,
professional scribe if I had the money. I don't know about you guys.
when,
I
when
don't have to
asking-
write things down. I can just talk and you'll take it down. Abso-fucking-lutely.
I mean, when asking why Casimir has something, the answer is probably because I can.
Exactly.
That's fair.
So
More just
so
curious about the
you put
inciting incident.
you would put Gabriel in touch with your person to send to take down a physical message.
Well, do you want to you waste that boon before Casimir does his thing?
Do both. Can't hurt.
I mean, if he really wants to spend his boon, he's free to do so.
Now seems like a good time.
I mean, I don't know what the heck else I'd spend on it, especially considering this is a, unless we have a sequel hook. Which
I mean, I
highly
suppose
doubt.
that's a fair enough point.
I know that's metagaming a little bit, but
Yeah, I don't know if we'll be necessarily doing a sequel campaign. So
or if we do, it's definitely not anytime soon.
Yeah.
but you
Personally, I
can-
feel like
you can-
Gabriel's.
You can do both.
Yeah. I feel like Gabriel's probably the person, probably someone that doesn't care about boons too much.
Honestly, the only thing that would probably annoy him is the fact that he has to use it so soon.
Hmm.
Unless, of course, I'm secretly
So
going
he's
to
the
call
kind
you
of
all
guy that
together
would
for a
hold on.
4th session where you fight a super boss where you need every resource. No.
We're not fighting fate and destiny.
Karen
No,
will.
it's right then.
Final Karen.
Spoilers, we fight Din in every single one of his vampires from every
Safer,
clan.
Karen.
Mackenzie will.
Bizarro Karen.
Mackenzie will.
Sorry, Karen.
She will achieve the form of one-winged Karen.
Wait, hold
Oh,
on.
God.
Wouldn't Bizarro Karen wouldn't that like flip everything and make her actually like a decent person?
Bizarro Karen is the best
Mhm.
possible neighbor you could ever hopefully ask for.
Except she stays inside.
Yeah, the best
I
possible
mean-
neighbor you could ask for.
Well, I don't know. I've worked plenty of apartment complexes to know that just because somebody stays indoors all the time doesn't necessarily mean they're not a problem.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Like the person right below us that won't stop having parties.
So
That's all
I'm
personal.
kind of savoring this like mundane problem that these vampires have. It's like, how do we deal with this person?
Yeah.
This is
Usually it's feuding with werewolves or like some kind of political intrigue. It's like no, it's just this. But
I mean, to be fair, this is kind of a political intrigue.
the most mundane. Also, I was about to say something really nasty. I was like, okay, I caught myself with that. Whoops.
yeah, it's the dumbest low stakes political intrigue. Which is, I think, exactly what you all ordered in session 0.
No, it absolutely is what we wanted.
All right.
Well, if we're doing all of that together, so we've got the Kazimer hiring the private eyes, and we've got the Ventrue boon, and on my end, I do have the person that works for the paper, the like editor, and I am a journalist.
You do have that side gig.
Yeah. So I might be able to call in just a little bit of a favor and see if there's anything that,
Maybe
Any
use a pen
rumors?
name for the author.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely a option you could pursue for research purposes. Yeah, there's nothing stopping you from doing all of these things.
You would need I'm sorry, Avis. You would need a bandolier of air horns for that.
No, you'd be surprised.
I don't think carrying a small air horn around and just blasting it whenever she starts arguing for no reason is really going to help things long term.
She'll just get louder.
No, she'll get annoyed and she'll leave you alone.
You would think that.
No, this is from a Reddit page that I actually found, and apparently it worked.
Yeah,
Oh,
but when they're on like the town council, they'll like cite you for some obscure, violation.
Noise pollution.
Noise pollution.
Is a thing. Yes.
Yeah.
Then you should cite them back for the exact same thing.
Yeah, but then you're locked in like a civil war of
Yeah.
bitterness in town council, and there is no escape from that.
Move to a different town if you can.
None of
It's
you.
always the nuclear option.
There are few of you who would actually like to relocate. Relocating as a vampire is tricky because there's a whole ecosystem you have to cultivate, and abandoning everything you've built here is difficult and sad.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be leaving behind a pretty decent lab.
Cazimer laughs internally.
You mean my lab?
Yeah.
That's
do.
exactly what he was talking about.
All right. Do you want to move forward with these initiatives?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I think so.
Private Eyes and Vampire Favors.
That's
That,
how it rolls.
that honestly doesn't. That honestly doesn't sound like a bad title for it after all. It at least sounds like a good chapter title for like a World of Darkness kind of thing.
Private Eyes and Vampire Favors. Yeah, needs a little work, but I think you got something good there. All right. So eventually, you all the vampires present leave Kazimer's estate, each with their own plans. Some of the others are just going to kind of like skip town for a little while. You know, the ones that already were kind of like hopping around just continue on their way until the next month where they have to meet up.
Did that see? I can't remember his name, but the trouble vampire. Does he get out of town too?
Oh,
Or?
Jason. Yeah, Jason. Jason tries to get out of town, but later you hear that Kane kind of showed up and kind of makes him reveal where his, projects are.
See, if that's taken care of, then yeah, then Kazimer doesn't need to worry about it because that was going to be the thing I was going to ask about next. So
yeah, apparently somehow Kane learned about this the night after, and you heard that he was dealing with it.
Okay, well, I mean, if someone else wants to deal with it, Kazimer is not going to complain.
Let someone else deal with the Fight Club guy. Yeah.
Yeah, we have our own problems.
I'm only mildly disappointed I didn't get to use my own plan.
What was your plan for Jason?
Well, I suppose it depends on how much leeway Kazimer would have to address such issues.
Well, you do have to hire and manage some private investigators. Plus your own personal business.
Still have your own things to do.
No, I mean, like, does Kane and the people I mean, how much trouble would Kazimer get in with those people if he decided to address a problem vampire?
Depends on what you mean by address. If you mean like punish and kill him yourself, no.
Okay. Well, he probably would have reported the situation, but they probably already knew about it, so.
That's precisely what happened. You're just like, apparently our Gangrel or our Jason is not the other Gangrel. Our Gangrel has some projects he got very nervous about when the police arrived, and they were like, yeah, we know, we're on it. Thanks for the report. Okay.
All right, that problem off the board.
Yeah, I imagine you basically relay this to your personal assistant to contact some private eyes in the morning and get them on the job.
Yeah. And probably also get someone to very thoroughly go line by line through both the rules of the homeowners association and any city rules so that we are very familiar with the way things work. So if something comes up, we can find a way to make it all come together.
Get a lawyer on retainer who understands this particular area of real estate law.
Yeah, get the best we can. Get the best we can hire to go to get very thoroughly through all this.
Yep, you have the resources to do that, absolutely. So that's in progress. Gabriel.
Yes.
You are put in touch with Kazimer's scribe, the guy he has on call to write and deliver handwritten messages.
Mhm.
So what do you send your Ventrue friend?
Well, he's probably gonna. The idea is he's going to speak plainly, and he's like I need somebody to punch up this thing. It's like, hey, I know you just offered me a favor, and I kind of have to call that favor in quite quickly. Bit of an emergency.
And the scribe's like, all right, you want me to just that, but in a more flowery way? Got it. Apparently he's used to like having to punch up basic messages for his clients. So yes, he can.
The scribe's like, first time.
Yeah, exactly. It's possible that this guy might be a thrall, whether of Kazimer or someone else, but you get the feeling he knows his way around dealing with Ventrue, who are among the few people who still insist on like calligraphied handwritten messages these days.
I mean, it is an art form. I just don't recommend it. It's really complicated.
Yeah. So that message is sent off, and you are awaiting a reply. And then, Vermi.
Yes.
You were going to call your editor contact.
Yes.
All right. Who are they?
Let's see. So I have contact. It's a newspaper editor for the Sedona Red Rock News. I think maybe they're just like kind of the local editor. Like maybe I've just gotten in contact with them for like there's been events in the past, and so we had to work together on stories related to that. Even though I normally just
whenever the newspaper needs like a story on something supernatural, you're their like expert they call in.
Yeah. So I think I think maybe I just call them up and just talk to them a little bit about like I'm having this like stalker problem, and it's making things like really like tough for me. And then I was looking at like maybe wanting to buy a new home or something, but this lady's like really rubbing me the wrong way, and I just wanted to make sure like she doesn't have anything that she's like trying to hide, and that like buying a new house in this area is really a good thing, but having to deal with the stalkers like made it hard for me to do that and find the new home and this job, and just kind of like give that sort of story and see if they might help me just take a little look into what's been going on with that homeowners association.
Gotcha. So you're like, I'm being stalked. I want to move to a different place, change my address, but the property as I'm looking at, I'm not sure about. And he's like,
yeah, and I've met this lady, and she's like really giving me like, I'll probably like go ahead and like say like bad vibes or something.
like, yeah, just because that's your brand, yeah.
And then just like I just want to be sure that there's nothing that she's like hiding, and that I'm really making a good choice in moving here, because I do actually sort of like my house. It's just starting to be a problem with the stalker.
Gotcha. Luckily, you managed to catch him awake, because he's working up late on a story of some kind, and so you can talk to him live instead of just playing phone tag. And he's just like,
maybe it was just in like the Slack for the
newspaper. That also works just fine. Yeah, just like, yeah, I can look into that. I've heard a few things about that HOA. I'm surprised that you can you even afford a a property on that side of town? Like the rates are
well,
ridiculous.
I've got a book deal that I'm trying to work through, and if I get an advance on that, it might mean I have a little bit more to work with. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to get into New Dawn territory, but I'll look into it. Sure. Yeah, did you hear about this? Like the police showing up at Kazimer's place, by the way, or Mr. Grigori's place at the Grigori estate? That was weird.
It was weird. I have no idea why. I mean, it's a suspicious place, right? But
what did he do this time?
It's it doesn't seem like from like what I've heard, it was supposed to be like gang related or something. I just saw the notes from the police scanner.
From the police scanner.
I just have no idea who would possibly think that guy is like in a gang.
Just like notes from the Sedona PD's Twitter feed, just like responding to a situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's just he's just there's a little pause as you just kind of go into like, yeah, that sounds weird. And then it's just like, yeah, that's weird night. But I guess that's what you specialize in. And
it's true.
He promises to get back to you about the homeowners association.
Thank you so much.
And Kazimer, what do you pass on through your personal assistant that you want the private investigators? There we go. Words sometimes, man. What do you want them to look into specifically? Jawa? What do you want the private investigators to look into?
Well, primarily to see if there's looking to see if she really has dotted all her I's, crossed all her T's, or what in particular are there avenues to, counter Karen her.
Counter Karen, I see. Try and catch her on some like small thing to put her on the defensive. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
The more trivial, the better.
The more blown out of proportion, the better. Got it. All right. Anything anyone else wants to do before the night comes to an end? Because there's going to be no more updates on this between now and the next sunrise.
Here's the thing. We get the animal lovers on her case since she keeps feeding her dog food that is bad for it.
I mean, you could blow her up on social media for that.
Yeah.
That would last a couple of days, sure.
It would also be on the internet.
Make a bunch of fake accounts. Just.
Yeah, because no one's ever
I saw
survived
her at the vet.
No one's ever survived a social media scandal on pure spite before. That's never happened.
You'd be surprised.
It usually takes a little something extra.
I was being sarcastic.
Post a bunch of fake articles.
There's a line between trying to spark a scandal and just straight up astroturfing. And I don't know if you have the resources.
Gaslight everyone.
I don't know if
gaslight the entire internet.
I don't know if you have the resources to organize an astroturfing campaign against a small town wife of a, councilman.
I mean, I've got the best resource of all. Time.
You don't.
I would
You can't say
say
it
I have
during the day,
something,
though.
but I can't.
True. Anyway.
Bitch, I have sunlight.
Yeah, it's that whole, like, you immediately have to crawl into a coffin when the sun comes up no matter where you are thing that kind of gets in the way of that.
I could roll some checks to stay up.
Yeah, and be really tired for an hour or two. I bet you could write some really good posts in that state.
I mean, hey, sloppy posts, people still read them and think they're true for some reason.
Yes. Sad and true, yes.
Pretty stupid.
Yeah, but in order to go viral the way you need them to, they have to have a little something.
Yeah.
There needs to be some engineering there. It's not that someone couldn't. It's not even that some vampires couldn't. It's that I don't know if that's your forte.
I think we're waiting
I
until
mean,
others have something done before we go that. So put it on the back burner, go into your coffin, and don't set any explosives up or let anything that's toxic to animals out your
I
bathroom.
don't have explosives.
Listen,
It's
anything
not a
can
thing
be
I do.
explosive.
I am very good at technology, though.
Sure. Get in your coffin.
I am.
You
got
have
3 dots in
packed a surgery apparatus into the back of a van. That takes at least some know-how.
Yeah.
And a little weirdness.
But that's everybody. All right. So assuming that nothing else is happening between now and the next night, I want everyone to roll me a rouse check, 1d10.
Yes, the rouse checks.
Let's see who fails today.
Who gets hungrier today? Jawa does not get hungrier.
I do.
Dr. Bright does get hungrier.
I've still got 1 bag of blood left, right?
Yep, Sylvia barely succeeds in not getting hungrier. Circe barely
also
succeeds in not getting
succeeds.
hungrier.
I messed that up again.
You did. Just off by
no.
1 letter. That's
I
not a
know I
slash.
still messed it up. Third time's the charm.
They'll figure it out eventually. We got time.
It happens.
There we go.
Gabriel gets hungrier.
2 6s, 2 4s, and an 8.
Yep.
Yep.
And the dice room overlay is being weird again, but it at least shows the name eventually, so whatever. Gonna have to look into that for next time I use it. The tools are getting old.
So I guess I'll drink my last non-contaminated blood bag.
Yep.
Or did I do that last time?
No, you just checked on the inventory last time. You didn't actually consume any. So at that time, you had one, and then you used one, and then you checked on it, and I said you had 1 left. So you've got one. You got your last blood bag you can use to sate this hunger you just gained.
All right. Drinking it like a Capri Sun.
And images. Okay. Gabriel, you're usually on top of your hunger, but this day, maybe it's just like all the crap you've had to put up with the last few days, but you're feeling a little peckish, more so than usual tonight.
I gotta way to do something about that. Maybe.
Since a whole day has passed and things have happened during the day that you set into motion, Kazimer, your private investigators have come back with a preliminary report.
Yes.
1, Catherine has apparently hired her own private security to bodyguard her because she feels threatened, quote unquote. So it's been a little hard to get close to her. But they have also followed Kurt Mackenzie around a bit, who has less protection, surprisingly. And they suspect he might be having an affair. But
Well,
there's also some signs that she might know about it already and is still sticking with him. So more investigation is required.
I mean, it
Okay,
wouldn't
then.
surprise me. She's probably in it more for his position than anything else.
Well, still, that's a secret that's the kind of secret that if it gets out is kind of a big deal.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It'll take some time to secure proof. And especially proof of her knowledge of it. Especially with her person and her home now under guard.
Well,
Yeah,
it is. I mean, it's something.
Yeah, it's something.
Do they know if they're? I mean, from what they can observe without getting, can they tell whether from the outside at least everything on the property is up to spiff on the homeowners code?
The Mackenzie home is flawless. There is nothing out of place that goes against the rules. It is the picture home that they put on like the website for how good the homes in their association look.
Of course it is.
They are meticulous.
Complete with a white picket
Well, I
fence.
suppose that
Yes.
coming through.
Yeah, you're coming through. You just got cut off a little bit by Oblivious. Jawa?
Yeah, sorry. I think I got. Well, I suppose I can give her credit for not being a hypocrite on that front, if nothing else.
Yeah, they're just like they play the game and wrote the rules to this game. They're not going to lose at this game. Not on that front.
Touche, douche.
I've never heard that before, and I love it.
I'd never heard of it either. I literally pulled it out of the ether.
That's very good.
Well
Thank you.
played.
I'm not gonna work it into my vocabulary regularly, but
Keep it.
yeah, I'm keeping it in my back pocket for the right time.
Go ahead.
Touche, douche. So yes, that
does
is
present a few problems.
that is the extent of what your private investigators have acquired information-wise, and of course, your lawyer that you've put on retainer is going through their bylaws as it is with a fine-tooth comb, but they kind of need to know more about like how things are actually operating on the ground level. Because on paper, everything can look fine, but where homeowners associations tend to get corrupt is in how the people in authority deal with the actual homeowners.
So start asking other people in the association how Miss Mackenzie treats the other members.
That might be another good avenue to look to
And
look
who's been kicked out of the association.
look into
Because nothing feels revenge more than spite.
look into like not investigate the other other members of the homeowners association, but look at records of anything that might be worthy of note.
Anyone who's been kicked out.
So yeah, you can task them on that to try and dig some more dirt on the interpersonal connections.
Add that to the
add that to the list. Maybe budget some more time for more people on the ground.
I mean, he can afford it. He's got money.
Yep. Vermi, Sylvia's contact comes back to her on Slack with a file attachment of information, and with it sends a message being like, yeah, I don't know if you really want to join this group. Apparently nothing proven, but they have like a whole bunch of really stupid rules, and they kind of, there's been accusations of like discrimination and all kinds of restrictions on like children playing outside, on political signage, threats to foreclose if people don't fall in line, that sort of thing.
Oh, well.
See?
Well, thanks for that. I knew I was just getting a bad feeling about it.
Yeah, this is like apparent. Like this, they've gone to court a couple times and they've tend to win on some like technicality or another, like standing. Apparently, they've got really good lawyers. So, like, even if I could get like inside this, I'm not sure if I could like break a story strong enough to report it. But I don't know. I think I got to start building a case on this. Thanks for pointing me on this. But I mean, it could be years before I get something strong enough to punch a dent in these guys.
Well, hopefully it works out, though. It does sound like a good scoop.
Yeah,
Thanks.
no, this. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, if this goes south, this is kind of career suicide is the thing. That's why no one else has really picked this up.
No, I get it.
Oh, HOAs are nasty. Especially when, you know, the husband of one of the board of directors is on the city council.
Yeah, I mean, you might just have to wait for that part to kind of get out of there before you can even break it, huh?
He's like 60 and won the last like 5 elections. I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon.
Oh. Yeah, I know how that can be, I guess.
What? Just ageless vampires never vacating their positions? No, never.
Couldn't be me.
I can't possibly know how that feels.
The good thing about humans, they eventually die.
You'd think.
Usually.
I mean, hey, give it a few decades.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you have to deal with the spawn.
Yeah. Inheritance.
Depends on how competent they are.
And people can cause a lot of trouble in the time between now and when they choose to die.
Yeah.
I mean, I more so was thinking, give it a few decades and then they won't die anymore.
When you choose. I'm just going to schedule this one in.
I mean,
I choose to die on this day at this time exactly. Clear out my schedule for the next forever. I'm dying on this day.
What wasn't that a movie where they were using like time as a currency?
Yeah, that was a whole sci-fi thing.
It was an interesting concept, but it was not that good of a movie.
Kind of a
I didn't
movie.
know if it's I didn't know if it's any good or not. I was just aware of its existence.
So good concept, poor execution.
Yes.
Color me shocked.
You can watch it once and you're not missing much. Anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I'll take a look at the file anyways. Maybe we can find some enemies who have some like actual dirt or something.
Legal complaints, some new links to or screen caps of news articles and newspaper clippings and whatnot. Just like rumors and speculation and whatnot, but most of it kind of negative, but none of them having like hard sources that are willing to be anything but anonymous and not for long.
Yeah, she'll make sure that she can get everything that would if there's anything in there that would be able to get back to the reporter and get rid of that, but I guess she'll forward that on to Kazimer's private investigators and see if they get anything out of it.
Maybe for a sake of disconnect, forward it to Kazimer's people, and Kazimer's people can get it to the private investigators.
Yeah.
Or the lawyer.
I'm sure she doesn't know how to get in touch with actual, like, Kazimer's private investigators. So yeah, she'd probably just somehow get it forwarded to Kazimer's people.
Thankfully, the reporter already scrubbed the metadata from it, so there's no indication that like it was collected and sent by him.
Yeah, it's I guess the diligence of just making sure her source is safe, but yeah, she
Yeah.
kind of expected that.
Yeah, your contact is actually good at his job. He's just not really the sort of like superstar journalist, editor person that you see in the movies. He's just competent. Which is, sometimes
People actually good at their job. What?
sometimes more than you can ask for sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, and when you get up, contemplating your hunger this evening, Gabriel, you already have a letter waiting in your mail with the same Ventrue seal.
Why is there a carrier pigeon on my mailbox?
Why is there a carrier pigeon waking you up?
It had to have been hand delivered. There's no like postage or anything.
Sorry, I just was amused by that image.
Yeah. This
I'm
guy
amused
apparently
of a carrier pigeon just knocking on his coffin because it'd be funny.
this guy has carrier people. And the gist of the message, with all the flowery language you would expect, is I would love to discuss the repayment of your boon in person. I will be in Phoenix for the next couple of days. At this address, if you can set a time, you'll be present. So we can meet here at my office. And I will honor the appointment.
Yeah, I'm assuming this is going to take more than a quick jog.
It's going to take a couple hours to drive to Phoenix. He says.
I mean, he could run it, but that might be a little high profile.
Yeah. He also says if bring anyone else who was involved in this incident with you if need be.
Oh, I mean, that's all of us, so cram us into the van. We're going on a road trip, I guess.
I mean, I can drive you there, but I'll
The van
stay
can
in the
maybe
van
fit
'cause I
two
don't think
people,
the Ventures
and
like
even
me very
then.
much. Well,
I mean,
we got
even
like
then,
3 seats in the front.
There's absolutely no way Kazimer would be riding in that van unless it was a life or death situation.
Oh yeah, Casimir's
I'm not
got like
getting in that
10,000
van.
limos.
You do know someone who has a limo and a limo driver all to himself.
Anyway, I'll sit this one out. I will make things go worse.
I was just
Maybe you should go so that you're not here, so you cannot make things here go worse.
Well, no, see, but the thing is, the Ventrue don't like me.
Well.
One specific Ventrue doesn't like you. One East Coast Ventrue and his domain think you're dead. You don't like Ventrue.
So the question is, who do you want to bring with you to Phoenix?
I mean, I'm just going to say now, I'd rather you didn't split the party in this case.
Yeah.
Because this is a big ol' excursion.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about splitting the party. That's why I figured it was we probably need a limo. I was kidding about the van.
Scooby-Doo van.
And if they have if we have extra time after, I mean, there's like an IKEA in Tempe, so we can make a day trip out of it.
Oh my god! We need those Finnish meatballs!
24-hour IKEA, yes.
Yeah, eat
Listen,
some
our
Swedish
I guess I
meatballs
said a
and
day
then,
trip. It would be a night trip, wouldn't it?
Because I can't eat.
Okay, so important question. What would be Kazimir's reason for going into an IKEA?
We drag
Buying the IKEA, obviously.
buying the IKEA.
I mean, if he's going to buy IKEA, he's just going to buy all of IKEA.
I don't know
Do
if he's
it.
got that much money, but like,
At the very least, you could buy everything from the store and make it so that no one else can buy anything.
yeah,
At least for until they get their next shipment in.
Buy at least one of every item from the
Like,
warehouse.
purchasing a controlling
No,
stake in
buy
IKEA
all
would
of
be,
at least
would be
one
more
item.
like a hostile takeover effort.
No,
Buy all of the chairs.
listen, it was a joke because we don't want to go into IKEA because I don't think Spud has a dungeon prepared for us.
The IKEA dungeon.
It's incredibly modular and
It's
doesn't
a
fit together
labyrinth.
all that well.
I know.
There's literally
And
a
the
path
maps that
drawn
they
so
have
that's
do
easy
not
to
help. They
follow
are
all the way through it.
dungeons.
There's literally
mean,
a critical
people don't
path
read.
drawn on the floor through it. That's not.
I mean,
Except it is.
people don't read.
I mean,
Except it
okay,
is.
but
They don't
imagine,
pay attention.
imagine a dungeon lord that wants you to visit and wants you to see all these wonderful things he's put in his dungeon.
You mean most of them?
I mean,
Like a dungeon, but with a tour guide pointing you
This
where
is-
to go next.
That sounds like something Din would do.
this is like the third vampire game I've listened to that's mentioned IKEA. What is the deal?
I don't know.
Because IKEA.
Wait, hold on. This is a running gag.
Apparently,
I have no idea either. I just-
every vampire wants access to a 24-hour IKEA for some reason. I don't.
It's the blahage. You gotta get one.
I think it's just for the I think it's mostly access to materials.
I
No, it's
guess.
because IKEA is.
You would be surprised the weird things player characters ask their DMs if it's okay to make.
I'm not sure if I would or would not be surprised by what players will ask their GMs if they can make.
No.
I think my personal favorite one was the exploding desk.
All right, so Gabriel, do you
Yes.
respond and set a appointment, and then? Well, I guess I'm just kind of leading you on, but do you want to go through with this and get everyone on board?
That was the plan, actually. Yes.
Okay. Get in contact with the scribe again. Be like, "Yep, here's the response."
Set,
You want to set it for? Do you want to set it for like later tonight or the next night?
Probably needs time to set it up because I doubt most people would just let you just do a fly by night thing.
You get the sense that in this particular case he will, because of the boon you've granted him. Like if you set
fair
it for
enough.
like, in 2 hours, you'll be like, "Yep, all right, we're doing it."
Well, didn't you say it was a 3-hour drive?
2-hour drive.
2-hour drive.
I mean,
Oh.
I'm speaking rhetorically.
Oh, okay.
If you set it for tonight, you get the sense he will honor it.
Okay. Oh, yeah, then let's do it.
All right. I guess I'll drive Kazimier's limo.
That's a bad idea.
I'm good
Will-
at driving.
Will
I mean,
Cazimer
don't
allow
believe
you
that.
that?
well, you see, the thing is, for this particular trip, I see Casimir using a private helicopter.
Okay.
Subtlety.
Oh my god. He would though.
But here's the thing. Would it fit all of us?
No.
It would
It
be
depends.
tight.
You're assuming he was planning on taking everyone in the helicopter with him.
It's just-
Okay, yeah.
See you
so
all
I'll
there.
just- Casimir gets in a
Listen,
helicopter.
I
I
am-
just take one of his cars.
Fine, you know what?
Easy
Out of
peasy.
spite, Sylvia, come on. We're getting in my car. We're leaving the boys. Go. We're going to Phoenix. Bye. And then we're going to Vegas.
What did I just say about splitting the
Yeah.
party?
I didn't start this. I'm ending it.
I mean, I was just going to drive everyone in Kazimier's limo.
I mean,
But now I might just take my van and look for a patient while I'm there.
Wait, no. I got it now. The title is "Screw You, I Have a Helicopter."
That's a bit long, but okay.
Through the rules, I have money.
Yeah, there we go.
I mean, why use the road like a peasant?
Oh my gosh.
I can't even get mad at it because it's like he is the douchebag to do that.
You can't.
Well, I mean, you could get mad, but it's a waste of time.
My goodness.
And well, no, and not only does he leave first, but he somehow managed to show up fashionably late just to really rub it in.
Well, because he has to find a place that will let him park his helicopter, and then he has to get there. Because I assure you that wherever this Ventrue is, does not have a helicopter pad.
I wouldn't be surprised if it did, though.
He has to go.
I wouldn't assume
and then
that.
and if he doesn't walk, he has to find parking.
I would not be surprised if the Ventrue had a helicopter pad.
Jen in the chat, this is exactly as difficult as actually planning a day trip. God damn it. I can't believe, like, in session 0 I joked about you guys going on a road trip, and now we're just actually planning a day trip for vampires. God damn it.
It's come full circle.
Yeah.
Okay. Despite what I've said, is that actually what Kazimer is going to do? Just fuck off in a helicopter?
I mean, I feel like if he could do it, he would use a private helicopter to go there.
No one can really stop you, so okay, I think that's what we're going to do then. My plans have changed now.
I mean,
So
I could
No
see him,
plan survives contact with the enemy or players.
I mean, I could see him potentially providing the others with a vehicle to ride in, that they can ride in the vehicle and then just have the vehicle meet there to pick him up after he arrives in his helicopter.
No, literally out of spite. I'm taking my own car. Sylvia is allowed to come with, and everyone else, fuck off.
well, everyone else is just me and Gabriel.
We do kind of need Gabriel for the meeting, considering that Gabriel
That's
is
fair.
the one.
Okay, so if I've got this straight, Kazimer fucks off in a helicopter. Circe takes Sylvia in her car, and Dr. Bright takes Gabriel in his van.
I think this works.
I mean, that or I steal one
It
of
does,
Kazimer's
because
limos.
I'm not getting in a car. I'm not getting in that van, and I'm not getting in a car driven by Dr. Bright. So I'm going to drive myself.
I'm a good driver. Probably a
I
better
don't
driver
trust
than
you as far as I can throw you.
Sometimes it's not about the trust in the skill and trust in the responsibility.
I am very responsible when I want to be.
Yeah, is this the
that's the
moment when you
problem.
want to be? I don't trust
I
it
don't see
to
why
be.
it wouldn't be.
I think based on last night, she's not trusting that. Weren't the words specifically, "Are you a man-child"? Something along those lines.
I know I probably
Well-
insulted you.
Yeah. Anyway,
This is getting better.
if you
by
want to
the minute.
ride in my van, I can bring you in the van, drop you off, and then go look for a patient somewhere.
How does Gabriel respond to that?
He just shrugs. It's like, not too picky.
All right.
That sounds like a plan, then. So,
Let's get there first.
you just zoom off in your
Oh my gosh.
van with surgical equipment strapped down in the back.
You're going to get pulled over by a cop.
Hey, I'm going to follow all the rules of the road and still get there first.
You're going to get pulled over by a cop, and I'm going to laugh at you.
Hey, I got it under control.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
So,
I do.
yeah, the two cars head on the highway south from Sedona towards Phoenix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be funny. We're gonna get halfway there. It's like, wait, isn't Grigori supposed to come? Where the hell is he? Just
And then
Iron
you-
Man's
you-
his way in.
you, You hear the helicopter rotors, and
He just parks in the middle of an intersection.
I don't think he'd be playing AC/DC though. That's the only disappointing part. It doesn't strike me as that kind of guy.
I think he's too old for that.
But yeah, he'd probably be playing more highbrow music.
It's got like some classical music playing on the radio
He's
in the
got like Ride of
headphones.
the Valkyries.
Oh my god!
I was about to say, I didn't ask a good question of like, what music do you listen to in each of the cars on your way over?
I'll let Gabriel pick. I don't really care much.
Let's see. I was trying to think of something hipster, but then I realized I don't listen to music nowadays.
Yeah.
What genre generally?
Honestly, I hadn't put much thought into that.
Does anyone have
would
any
be
suggestions for what the boys listen to?
Could also just listen to classical music. I do
Highway
like
to
classical
Hell.
music.
Royalty-free classic music.
It's on the radio.
And what do the ladies listen to on their way over?
Highway to Hell.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Cut to
You know what?
like,
Jazz is also
like,
good.
like jazz and classical in the boys' car, with these two like rough and tumble elder gentlemen there, and then cut to the girls' car and they're rocking out to Highway to Hell.
I'm
What's
suddenly
for the fun car?
And then
That,
cut to Kazimer riding in the passenger seat of his helicopter, listening to Flight of the Valkyries.
And it's on repeat just to annoy the shit out of the.
Well, no, I mean he's not going to annoy his pilot. The pilot works for him. He's not going to purposely do that kind of annoyance.
Okay, maybe not purposefully, but
They're not.
it's like,
They're
man,
not on the speakers. They're in the headphones. So.
Oh, okay.
You know what? What might even be funnier if it's not just classical music, but it's like quote unquote new classical music. Like he specifically has.
How about it's opera music?
This is my helicopter music I specifically commissioned for whenever
I hired an orchestra to make my own royalty-free Flight of the Valkyries. Okay,
It's Flight of the
we got
Valkyries,
there.
but with a modern twist.
It's got a dubstep breakdown in it for no reason.
What is this cartoonish monster we've all created together?
I don't know, but I love it.
So, obviously, Kazimer arrives in Phoenix first.
But he has to find parking, so everyone shows up around the same time that he gets out of the helicopter.
The address that Gabriel was given is a high-rise that absolutely has a helicopter pad.
Well, well, does he show up first, or does he take advantage of the fact that by helicopter he's got a lot shorter time, so he can show up like.
I imagine he probably circles around the city once or twice just to take in the view.
Yeah, that actually does sound like a thing that he'd do.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, you definitely have time. Like, I can't tell you like how much faster it would be to fly from Sedona to Phoenix by helicopter versus by car, but it's probably saves like
Half
at
the
least
time, maybe.
at least an hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're window shopping for real estate.
Like actually flying up to the window, and it's like,
Well, the pilot still has to obey like, air traffic laws above the city.
Oh, okay. He probably makes the suggestions like, yeah, well, I can't do that.
So I guess the remaining question is which car arrives first? The boys or the girls?
I will dice roll for this.
Oh, okay. This will be fun.
We do.
All right.
All right, here we go.
I guess that will be obviously drive as the skill.
Probably dexterity.
Oh, I just flipped the coin.
Oh,
No, I'm gonna make you roll a dice pool for this. Come on. I haven't made you roll.
I did roll a dice. I rolled the D2.
Do you even have the drive skill?
No.
Well, it is possible for you to still succeed.
I mean, maybe.
We show up first in Flagstaff.
The thing is, this is a long drive. This is a 2-hour drive. So I'm actually going to ask you to roll stamina and drive.
Oh, stamina.
2 hours is not a long drive.
We end up in Aruba. Actually, where even is Aruba? I don't
All
actually.
right, that's still not bad.
That's 3.
And what are Dr. Bright's and Circe's current hunger?
Current what? Hunger?
Hunger.
1, 0, 1.
Yeah, not 0.
1 hunger.
Unless you killed someone and
Yeah.
didn't tell me.
I said it right the first time and then corrected it to 0 and then recorrected it to 1.
1.
All right then. So yeah, roll me a dice pool with stamina plus drive.
Okay, Aruba is in the Caribbean. I didn't know that. Okay.
All right. So I am going to use a willpower to re-roll those 3 regular dice.
Oh my god!
Yes, you are. You absolutely are going to do that.
I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
Again. Dang.
I think we win.
Yeah, Avis got 2 successes, and even with the reroll, Azure got 1 success.
Well, at least
So-
they didn't catastrophically botch it like last time.
No,
I've never catastrophically botched anything.
No critical successes or failures, or messy criticals, or anything like that. Which would have been real entertaining in a car.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of the willpower, when does that track get cleared back?
Oh,
Um,
at the beginning
You get a
of the day.
superficial at the start of each session.
Okay.
Yeah, you would have cleared 1 at the start of the session today.
So does that mean the one superficial from last time that got cleared?
Yes, that got cleared. Yes. Like,
Oh, crap.
it's not that it's like a long drive that you have to work hard to sustain, but like if you're trying to like low key race across a 2-hour length, that is not like you're trying to do like sharp turns and, you know, drift around corners in your car. That's like you're trying to make sure you keep a steady pace throughout. That's why it said stamina instead of dexterity.
Dang.
Just to
If
clear
it
it
had
out.
been composure, I would have won this.
No.
Well, that would have applied for like if you try to initial D this thing and then the cops pull you over.
Yeah, if that's more of a social thing. This is more of a physical like, attention thing.
Ah, well. As long as we arrive before Kazimer, that's fine.
Don't.
No.
No.
That was
Oh,
never
man.
going to happen.
All right. Well, they still need to find parking. I'm just dropping Gabriel off.
Well, so the ladies arrive first, and you arrive at this address for this tall, executive-looking high-rise. Finding parking is challenging, but eventually you manage to do it, and then walk over. Sorry, I just thought I heard something. Then take some time to sort of navigate the building itself to be like, we have a meeting with this person. You know, go up to the front desk and whatnot and be like, for meeting with I guess they would insist that they're waiting for the actual person involved to show up before.
Yeah, I mean, we're. It's not like that. We're not waiting for the others. We're just like sitting, loitering in
kind
the
of
lobby.
The lobby, yeah.
But we make it notice, like, we're here to see this person. On regards with Mr. Gabriel Carter. We're waiting for the rest of our group to arrive.
All right. Will do. I will let him know that some of you have arrived. The boys, on the other hand, I assume you're using something like GPS to kind of find your way.
I mean,
Unless you.
here's the thing.
What's
Could
the thing?
just roll streetwise.
Oh my gosh.
Naturally, the boys don't bother asking for directions. They can figure it out on their own.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see. GPS is a backup option. First,
Roll me
intelligence or wits.
Intelligence streetwise.
All right.
You make this difficult.
Dr. Bright is nothing if not a man who will insist on doing things the hard way.
This is why I brought you in the car and not him.
I insist on doing things the fun way.
I insist on making things as easy as possible.
I insist on doing the things the most elaborate and expensive way.
All right. 3 successes.
All right. You happen to have, worked down in Phoenix a few times yourself, and so you can tell, where things generally are, especially if you have the address. Which is why it especially stands out to you when you start driving through some construction that you're not sure was there before. And that swiftly seems to lead into just a dead end.
Bang.
And then a black SUV blocks the path behind you. And
Hey, Gabriel, you ready to beat some people up?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I had to run off and take care of an emergency real quick.
Oh, you missed something.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
You're about to get in a fight.
Oh, what did I do?
No,
Everything.
I got 3 successes on a streetwise check to go for direction, to just know where to go, and drove through some construction into a dead end, and we got blocked in by a black SUV.
Like this,
Oh, no.
this would have been the right way to get to where you needed to go, but for some reason, it's been blocked off.
So, let's waste some fools.
So, Sylvia, how's your new book coming around?
Alternatively, you can just go on foot from here, and I'll just deal with this myself.
Nah, I'm not doing that.
All right.
Besides,
Four men wearing tactical vests and carrying,
Gosh.
with pistols drawn, pour out of the black SUV and kind of fan out as they approach your car or your van.
These guys.
You don't.
I think I know who we're
No,
dealing
you
with.
don't.
Don't
Actually.
recognize them? Okay,
No.
weird.
You guess based on just general experience that these are just kind of hired goons. Mercenaries that are on like a one-time contract.
All right, so Gabriel, do you want the long rifle, the pistol, or do you just want to use your fists?
I can punch a hole through a man. I don't need a gun.
All right. I'll take the pistol.
All right. How do you begin? How do you engage?
First off, let's just go ahead and silence of death. Be quiet here.
You engage the silence of death so that everything you move and touch is very quiet.
And
So I'm gonna
see. And
Is there room to turn the van so that one of the doors is facing the opposite direction of the people?
Unfortunately, the way you have a little bit of time before they kind of exit, so that you can kind of like start turning the van around, and then you see them. So that when you open the door, it kind of like forms a shield in front. Or angle it so that one of the doors is like on the side that they can't see.
Yeah, let's go with that. One of the doors on the side they can't see.
All right.
Let's go out that door.
So
and
there's just this wall of like creepy white van blocking view of what they can kind of see through like the driver's side window, and they can kind of, well, it's like, if I can set the scene a little bit, it's like you're just kind of under like the orange glow of all these lights of the city and these construction lights and whatnot. So it's, some of it glares off the windows. So, but they can kind of see through the driver's side window and see you guys moving a bit.
All right.
as far as what Gabriel's going to do, he's going to activate lethal body, because it's like, okay, it's a bunch of hired guns trying to kill me. Not worried about being terribly subtle.
What does lethal body do?
Lethal body, the user's unarmed attacks now do aggravated health damage to mortals if desired. They also ignore 1 level of armor per potence level of the user. So that means I ignore 2 armor, essentially.
Ignore 2 armor with your punches. Oh boy.
All right, so Gabriel, I'll leave this up to you. Do we want to see what they want, or do we just want to kill them all?
Well, I'm getting ready just in case things go south, and I'm expecting them to.
Because I could just intimidate them, or I could just shoot them.
Let's see. Okay, so yeah, here's the other thing I'm going to do. Because out of curiosity, because I'm unsure how the scene exactly unfolds at the time of, like, as far as them seeing us, like, just I'm making an assumption here. Like, do you have tinted windows or anything?
I mean, you can't see into the back, but
the front and sides you kind of have to see through a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. The reason that I ask is because before the campaign started up, I actually took Cloak of Shadows, so I can basically stay still and be invisible.
The van has been armored in many places. This has been a personal project of Dr. Bright's for a while. Okay. It could have tinted windows, now that we're thinking about it.
I mean, it's a van, so the windows are probably dark anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, because I figure they're probably looking for a specific number of people, and getting the element of surprise is probably a good idea. If things go down.
So you're wanting to use Cloak of Shadows?
You know what, you do that, and I'll actually just make a scene and just intimidate everyone.
Yeah, if the intimidation fails, I can basically rip them apart, or at least that's the plan.
All right. So we're going to go with Daunt and Intimidate. And what trait do you want me to use for that?
Remind me, let's see, where's Daunt? Presence. Use a presence to any intimidation rolls.
I'm gonna answer the door while you do that. 1 second.
All right.
Sure thing. So you basically just step out, and immediately you're trying to be the most intimidating, badass doctor anyone's ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
So that would probably be charisma?
All right.
Yeah, charisma, intimidation, plus presence.
So it's going to be a total of 6 for the dice pool. 2 successes. Let's
Alright.
go ahead and spend a willpower to re-roll 3 of those.
You can re-roll the 1, 4, and 1. And yeah, 2 successes is okay.
But I can do better.
Yeah.
And I did better.
2 successes. All right. So 4 successes.
4 successes.
2 successes would have been they don't shoot you right away with guns drawn. 4 successes, you manage to come out, and for reasons they can't even comprehend or explain, they're just like, holy, they take a couple steps back and like recoil back a little bit, just like, whoa, what? Who is this guy? And Gabriel is just trying to stay still somewhere so that his cloak of shadows renders him invisible.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah.
So Gabriel, I just want to check to make sure Gabriel is using cloak of shadows to just stay still and be invisible.
That's the 1 dot power.
All right. You can't move while you're using cloak of shadows, so you just like stay behind the van, or
just somewhere out of sight in the back of the van, behind the van.
You could theoretically just stay sitting in the passenger seat.
Theoretically, yes.
All right. So yes, Dr. Bright's presence gets these 4 like trained, hired goons to recoil and step back a little bit and be like, well, no one told us about this guy. What the hell?
They can feel the killing intent.
Yeah, you look like, and especially with like the pistol at your side, they look at you and immediately they can feel like how you're going to ice them one by one. Like they've never seen or heard of a badass as much as they see in you right now, even though you're just dressed in like a doctor's coat.
Bit of blood at the hems and
yeah,
broken stethoscope taped to it.
I'm gonna kill you with my
stitched to it.
teacup. I still haven't had an opportunity to use that. It's freaking awesome.
All right. So
then a 5th person comes out of the black SUV, kind of pokes his scrawny head out and goes, "What are you waiting for?" And Gabriel, you see the Ventrue brat you beat up just a couple of nights ago step out angrily, glaring at his goon squad. And he also kind of flinches a bit as he sees Dr. Bright, but then he says, "Whoever you are, we're just here for the coffee guy. We have nothing to do with you."
Okay, I see what's going on here. You 4, point to the guards, the hired thugs.
They, as he pointed them, they like immediately like train their guns on you, but they're kind of shaking a little bit.
I suggest you leave now. Don't get involved in this, and you can live. As for you, point to the kid, you're going to come take a ride with us.
What? How
Got
ridiculous. But roll me manipulation and intimidation and add your presence to it.
It's another 60, 10.
Just to see if like they obey your commands or just like panic and do something else.
It's another 2 successes. And for this one, I think I'm just going to leave it at 2 successes.
All right. 2 of them kind of start to back away towards the van. And 2 of them stay. The Ventrue is just like, hey, no, you get back here. What are you doing? But they just kind of like.
So 2 of them are still here?
Sorry, boss.
2 of them are just like kind of moving towards the doors of the van, ready to like to kind of lower their weapons and ready to like hop in and peel out at a moment's notice. The other 2 are kind of like still training their guns on you, flanking their boss. But
so
yeah, there's 2 less guns trained on you now.
Here's the thing. Dexterity and firearms, yeah?
You gonna take a shot?
I'm going to shoot one of them in the face.
All right, there's some distance separating you, but yes, roll Dex plus firearms.
And that I will re-roll the 5 and the 2.
Okay. Gonna spend another willpower point to just put some extra oomph into it.
Yep.
I mean, it is the last session. You can metagame and just spend everything now.
I mean, I do have willpower to burn. So that's 4 successes.
All right. Faster than anyone can even see your hand move. Like those old legends of the old Western cowboys. Your hand is just immediately like pop up and pow right through the skull. Like so fast before even anyone's got a chance to react to what just happened.
He channeled a specific Arizona Ranger.
Yeah.
Now you've got one more chance. Got it?
The roll me let's see, you had 2 successes on the other one. Shoots back just as a panic reflex.
Bad idea.
He's going to actually just roll me see. Oh, maybe I should roll. Maybe I can roll some dice this time. That'd be something, huh? Oh, gets a clean shot on you. You take, from a 9mm bullet, you take 1 point of superficial health damage.
Okay.
He just goes, ow.
It was...
You see, that was a bad idea on your part.
And he does not take another shot at you. Oh,
and that's a critical.
Yep, that is a critical success. You get another 2 successes on the top of that for 5.
And so he is dead.
Your shot goes through his skull and bounces off the windshield of the armored SUV, causing it to crack. As this blood splatter coats the hood and the windshield of the car. And that sends the hired goons screaming back into the van. The 2 that were waiting by the car, they just get in before any more shots come their way, and they just peel out without their boss.
Because they want to live.
Where are you going? We have
As
a
I
contract.
said, you're coming with us.
What? No. And he...
Hey, Gabriel. I'll leave this one to you.
He starts looking like he's going to try and like run on foot away from you.
Bad idea. I'm gonna take that opportunity to use fleetness to pop out of the van and chase him down.
Meanwhile, I'm going to loot the corpses.
Of course you are.
You
And hey, I can sell this stuff on the black market.
Yep, you you take their weapons and any valuables that were on them, and you know, while Gabriel's chasing down this Ventrue, pop it into your van. Would you like to make a roll for your sprinting, Gabriel?
Yeah, just to see how great or poorly it goes.
Does fleetness add to your roll?
No, actually, I don't think I will, because that's dexterity based stuff. This is just pure hauling ass. Let's see, that would be athletics and.
Oh yeah, that's it. And it costs a rouse check, and it adds your rating to your dice pool for non-combat dexterity tests. So yeah, that would work just fine.
Okay,
so, but you would have to rouse the blood.
Yes. Screw it. Why not?
All right. So roll me a 1d10 to rouse the blood.
I'm gonna see if I can actually do it right this time.
Question R, 1d10.
Oh, not S. There we go. S is after that.
You do not succeed, so you get a little bit hungrier as you call upon the power of the blood to make your body capable of moving and reacting with dizzying speed. Now,
which you probably didn't even need to do.
Yeah, but you know, use
it's
them if you got them.
A message.
Roll dexterity plus athletics plus celerity.
Dexterity, athletics, and celerity. Ow! I just punched my desk. Good job.
Stop hurting yourself on my streams.
I'm not. I swear I told you I'm not doing this on purpose. Let's see. Where are my stats? Right at the top. Here we go. Let's see. So celerity, that's 2 dice. Dexterity, that's 3. 5.
Athletics
is also.
So all those dice together make. How much is that?
See, 2, 3, and 3, so that's 8.
Nice. And you're at 3 hunger?
Yes.
All right.
8, 10, S6.
That is 5 successes. You, like, as he is taking his first step, as he's trying to sprint, you, like flash in front of him, and he just, like, crashes into your chest, and you feel nothing.
And he's just like, hi. He grabs him by the neck.
Oh.
Did you really learn nothing about respect last time?
He doesn't know how to respond to that.
Go ahead and just strap him in the back.
Yeah. Gonna strap him in the back.
That will require no roll, because despite being a vampire, he's got nothing on your strength, and
he's probably intimidated to shit and back.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead and extract some blood for you if you want.
He was gonna do that himself, because A, he's hungry, and B, he's pissed off.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna drain him, but I am at 3 hunger, so I have to do something about that.
That would take some time, and you can starting to hear police sirens.
No, I mean, we're gonna
be moving. All right. You
All
can
right,
handle that. I'll start driving.
You strap. Okay, so So, Dr. Bright, you get into the driver's seat again, and Gabriel, you use the surgical table in the back to strap down this Ventrue lick.
Yep.
And you peel out of there. Dr. Bright, roll me some dex and drive to skillfully evade the incoming cops.
Oh no.
Okay. Yep. That's 3 successes.
3 successes. That is sufficient. Your van is long gone, and the construction equipment kind of blocked other people from seeing what was going on within, kind of by design, but it worked against them in this case.
I know. I probably should have taken some of their blood. I probably did that.
You didn't really have time.
Yeah, that's fair. Should have taken one of their corpses. Oh well, too late.
And the cops come by to discover a couple of dead mercenaries and illegal construction blockage. So they rightfully deduced that it was a hit gone terribly wrong.
They have no idea.
But you race through the dead of night in Phoenix, Arizona, downtown. Gabriel, the man in the back, is kind of screaming a bit, trying to make noise so that other people outside can hear the commotion in the back of the van.
You got something to shut his mouth with, you know?
Yeah, here's a bag of cotton balls. Just shove a bunch of them down his throat. He doesn't need to breathe.
Yeah, you got a point there. I was about to say something really stupid. I was like, you know what? You got a point. Never mind.
All right, you take a handful of cotton balls and shove them into his mouth and keep shoving handful after handful until he's completely blocked through. Ugh. But hey, I guess he tried to kill you. All right, Sylvia and Circe, you see the van outside the lobby peel by.
It was a slow.
Also, go ahead and put the surgical mask over his mouth too.
Slow.
We got to
plan on bringing him to the meeting.
Palm, slowly dragging it down.
The world's slowest, most drawn-out facepalm.
Yes. Listen, we spent a while playing poker, and now I'm starting to believe that we don't play against Sylvia because you cheat.
Sylvia
cheats.
Sylvia appears to manipulate probability in ways that defy reason, like she knows what your cards are before you reveal them.
Next time you're not allowed to use anything.
Fine.
What?
When I say
Awesome.
normal poker, I mean normal poker.
Man, vampire poker with Auspex is wild.
Man, this is gonna be really, really weird. It's like, hey, I picked up some trash on the way over here. Just drag the guy's protege in there. His mouth's still covered, filled with cotton balls.
You see, we put a surgical mask on him as we bring him up so that we don't draw as much suspicion.
Oh, you draw plenty of suspicion.
I mean, hey, we just drag him out
less suspicion than usual.
Gabriel's just got a firm grip on his shoulder.
The reception and security guards at the front desk are like, "What the hell is it? Isn't that
long story?"
We found him somewhere.
They're about to raise a fuss, but then they get a they get pinged by their head of security and be like, just send them up. All of them up. They're like, you sure?
Get
It's
this
like,
over
yep.
with.
Yep, they're fine. That's what we need. Send them up. It's like, all right, Gabriel Carter, right?
Yeah, that's me.
All right, the elevator. Go to here's your security pass for the executive floor. Here you go. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
We're working on it.
Get home safe.
Meanwhile, Kazimer. Earlier,
Yes.
do you decide at some point to try landing on the tower?
Yes.
All right.
Call up and say, hey, can I park my helicopter on top of your building?
You're asked to hold for a bit and say, what is your business? You know, you're here for a meeting with, you know what, I've been dancing around it. What the hell is this guy's name? I'm drawing a complete blank. Our mystery Ventrue's name.
Mystery.
Helio Copernicus.
Mr.
No.
E. Ventrue.
No.
I know, it's
No.
Doc,
Mr. E. Ventura.
Dr. Venture.
Dr. Ventura.
Okay. His name is Mr. E. Venture.
Nice.
Usually referred to as Mr. E.
Oh, God. It took me a second.
I'm gonna cry.
Oh, I love this.
So yes, meeting with Mr. E. Then
Is it related to Mr. G from Half-Life?
no, that's no relation.
Oh.
I love you guys, truly.
Are you sure?
Too, Spud.
So, so yes, you are eventually given clearance to land and disembark, and you are asked to wait in the lobby of the executive floor.
Okay. Yes. As he gets out, he has a glass full of wine a freshly poured wine that he brings with him as he goes in. Like he's just walking around carrying.
Really?
From
Yes.
the cooler in the helicopter, obviously.
Really?
Yes.
Of all the things he does, this is what surprises you.
No, I'm asking, really, is he not going to offer after?
He's not going to offer anything.
He didn't offer us a helicopter. Why would he offer us wine?
He didn't
It's not
offer.
it's not like we can drink it.
Most
Well,
I said
actually,
wine anyway.
Gabriel can, but
You can easily, but you still have to vomit it up later.
yeah,
You don't have to put in extra effort to, rouse the blood to eat food and drink.
yeah.
But that's not the same as being able to digest it.
I mean, Kazimier's got enough.
Fair enough.
Hard as it may be to believe, Casimir has enough humanity to get away with drinking wine.
That is true.
I think Sylvia does as well. Or no, Circe.
Yep, the consensualists.
They're both consensualists.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that I had one of the highest humanity.
Yeah, you and Casimir.
Yeah, Kazimer has 8 humanity. Can you believe it?
So do I.
Yep.
Well, I mean, normally humanity.
Well, yeah, I believe that Circe has 8 humanity, but Kazimer?
Well, I think we discussed this in the thing. It's that your connection to humanity doesn't necessarily mean that you're a great person.
Yeah.
Unless you have humanity 10, in which case that's like the entire point of humanity 10 is that you're completely selfless.
Oh yeah, he's definitely not going to have humanity 10 no matter what. That's not going to happen.
Anyway, you and your glass of wine wait in the executive floor for about an hour. And you can kind of tell that the receptionist who handles Mr. E's night business is definitely a ghoul of his, who is nothing but professional and even offers her wrist to you to drink. In case you're feeling a little peckish.
Well,
If only I was feeling.
he really doesn't have any benefit because he's already at hunger 1, and you said that he can't really get to 0 unless he.
Yeah, you can just politely decline. That's fine.
Yeah, and I'm guessing. She's.
And also, he wouldn't drink anyway.
She's probably not his taste anyway. Yeah.
No, so. Yeah, this woman is far too well off to be your taste.
It's perfect for my taste. I just don't need it.
So, yeah,
he will though in response like raise a glass to her like thank you but no thanks, and
yeah, just that silent acknowledgement. Yeah. So you end up waiting about an hour, and then the elevator dings, and the other 4 step out, and the 4 of you see Kazimer Grigori sitting there with a glass of wine waiting.
And we're like, of course.
Yeah.
Yes, he's also wearing very stylish sunglasses because he can.
Indoors at night.
Yes.
To be fair, it's probably brighter indoors than it is outdoors at night.
Fair enough, I guess.
This whole floor looks kind of like Kazimer's like vampire wing of his mansion looks like. It's all been
all the windows are blacked out.
All the windows are
drawn.
Yeah. It's very sort of
closed.
like.
God, you said vampire wing, and I was like, does he actually make that particular part of his wing look like an actual like bat wing or something like that?
Yeah, this is like, there as havens go. This is Circe has her 3-dot haven with amenities and whatnot. That's her like veterinary building. That's 3 floors, and the top floor is this secure spot. Kazimer has a 2-dot haven with all those resources. He gets a one wing of the mansion is retrofitted to be a good haven for a few vampires. This is the guy that has all the resources and all the dots in haven. This is where a vampire wants to go if he needs a fortress to hide in for a while, but also is spacious and distinct and far enough away from regular people that they don't know what's going on. This is like you down every hall and through every doorway you see something that only a vampire would really need. Seems like he's got the whole floor to himself. But straight ahead through these ornate double doors that sort of inlaid in gold are his Ventrue seal, just sort of along the frame, like embossed so shallowly that you wouldn't even notice unless you were looking for it. And
a Ventrue with some subtlety. Holy crap.
Well, considering that he's got an entire floor to himself, not that subtle.
Well, no, I meant like that particular aspect specifically.
Yeah. I mean, Ventrue still have to maintain the Masquerade despite how Kazimer makes it look.
He's the exception. I don't remember who said this, but it was during an Among Us thing, and they were like, I can't tell if he's a genius or a moron.
That's kind of the nature of lying.
Yeah.
So
I know exactly where that's from, unfortunately.
There is
No, we know he's a moron, but
There is a buzz, and the massive double doors pull open, and you are all invited into the office of Mr. E.
Now, did someone come to collect the lick, or did we just bring him up with us?
Oh, yeah, you brought him with you.
Good.
We brought the lick up after Gabriel had his, because I'm not sitting at 3 hunger. That's a little too dangerous.
So how much do you feed from him? 1 or 2?
Just 1, just to get him down to 2.
All right, you take a sip of his vitae, and he can't really stop you, and he is kind of swaying a bit from the kiss.
And probably a few punches that he gave him just for fun.
Oh, yeah. A little bit, not really bruised per se, but not looking great even for a walking corpse like a vampire usually is. So, Mr. E is not really, like, terribly eccentric outside of his choice of decor. Everything's just decadently ornate in the office. Every seat, the desk, the chair, even the glass has this sort of like expensive quality to it. The glass, the windows, and the shutters that block out the sun look to be made of the finest materials. But as for himself, he's just in a perfectly tailored but just normal kind of gray suit.
Very understated, but well-fitting.
Yes, exactly. Not someone that looks to stand out a lot of the time, but absolutely knows what he needs and what he wants.
I must compliment you on your interior decorating.
Oh, why, thank you. Mr. Grigori?
I apologize for being late.
Oh,
This guy held us up.
The apology is entirely mine. I am deeply, deeply ashamed by what my child has done.
Well, I'll leave his fate up to you and Gabriel. I already took care of the ones bothering me.
I would.
Well, half of them anyway.
Well, as I said, the ones that bothered me.
I would consider it an expansion to the boon I owe you, Gabriel, and you somewhat, Dr. Bright, if you would not speak of this to anyone in this domain and leave this to me. I promise I will make sure that the lesson is more permanent this time.
Oh, no worries. I don't think anyone would believe me anyway.
Speaking of, I should probably get that bullet out from wherever it is in my body. Probably my shoulder.
It'll heal.
I don't know. Yeah.
When you next rouse the next day, it'll just kind of like heal up and
pop out.
Yeah. Or like be like destroyed and disintegrated by the power of the blood.
That too.
That's some potent stuff.
Yeah, blood. Yeah. Vampire blood is.
I mean, you know it better than most.
Yeah.
So he says, let me, I'll be right back. And he takes his child from your custody and says, there are amenities about for whatever you might need. The willing, beasts, whatever your taste is, you can find it. I will be back in just a few minutes.
Oh, cool. I'm going to go look for blood bags. I doubt there will be them, though, because the Ventrue have a distaste for it.
You're clearly not the first bagger he's ever entertained, because you can kind of find behind one of the wall panels a setup that has like blood bags both chilled and heated.
Well. All right. I guess I'll grab a couple and slip them into my coat.
Ever the
I'm
walking
guessing Dr.
raccoon,
Bright
Dr. Bright.
I'm guessing Dr. Bright is the kind of person to clear a hotel of the clean towels and all that.
Well, I mean, if I ever go to a hotel.
Then after a few minutes, he returns and says, "Apologies."
While he's gone, Kazimier's going to check into his available wine collection if he happens to have anything.
I mean, also, to be fair, he did say to help yourself.
Yep, and yeah, there he does have some fine vintages on stock in his office that you can partake in.
And Casimir will partake.
Yes.
Partake and partay.
And then he eventually returns and says, "He won't be a problem for a long while, thank you. Now let's get to business. I don't want to keep you too long and make you race the sun back to Sedona. So what can I do for you, Gabriel?" And he sits down on one of the there's like two like long plush couches that face each other across a desk. And he takes one entirely to himself and kind of rests his arms on the back.
Well, we have a problem that requires subtlety and resources that don't really seem to possess.
Tell me about it.
Well, there appears to be a surprisingly powerful annoyance. What did you call her? Circe? He didn't bother to learn her name.
Oh.
So you could actually just call her Karen, or you could use her name. Either one works.
No, it's... I don't even think he'd probably really know her name. Would he? It's...
Well, the name would have come up, Catherine McKenzie, but
the name was probably kicked around, but it's like
No, but would this guy even know the name? I don't know if it's like...
Well,
no.
No one said it to him yet.
No. He's specifically looking at Circe. The implication was I asked, "What did you call her?" in reference to the Karen thing.
Oh, a pain.
That yes, it appears that one of her regulars, I guess you'd call it. Turns out she's put a bit of a hit on our monthly meeting place.
She's making herself more of a annoyance that some of the rest of the people here are getting antsy over.
And by annoyance, I mean something that could actually break Masquerade kind of thing.
And by people here, we mean most of the people that didn't actually come here.
Well, that too.
I see. Who is this person? He reaches down to the table, and you realize that the table's one giant touchscreen tablet.
Nice.
Trying to show up trying to show up our local Ventrue. I like it.
It's not looking like he's trying to show off, but he can't help it.
Okay, well, less trying and more is. Oh crap! That was the dryer. 1 second.
Casimir will walk over so he's standing next to the table.
All right.
Her name is Catherine McKenzie. Casimir, I sent you an email with some more information about her that I managed to find. If you want to give it to our friend Mr. E here.
That's something you can do.
Yeah, I'm thinking he reaches into his coat pocket and he pulls out like a something that contains the data that he can.
Like a USB stick thing.
No, it's paper. He doesn't have a printer. He just has someone write everything out on a piece of paper.
Well, he wasn't certain, so he has both paper version and digital version. But with the giant computer table, he's going to hand over the small drive with the computer version.
He wouldn't accept a USB stick because sticking that in a sensitive networked computer is a bad idea. But if you just have like files on your phone, you could just transfer those.
He'll like
It's like log into your email on your phone and then email them over.
We're all just like hovering around Kazimer, like explaining how to send an email on his phone.
Because he's never had to do it himself.
I'm just like, no, I'll forward it. What's your email, Mr.
no, better yet, he will use his phone to call. He will call
Call his
Sylvia
team
and
back
have
home. Yeah.
Yeah, he will.
There we go.
He will use his phone to call Cynthia and have her do it.
How do you send an email, Cynthia?
Like, don't worry, we'll take care of it. It's quicker if we do it.
It takes some finagling, but you manage to forward all the information you all have collected to Mr. E. Like, I can't, every time that phrase comes out of my mouth, I can't believe it, but all right. And he pours over the information and says, okay, so wife of one of the city council, the vice president of social events and safety for the New Dawn Homeowners Association, and she's doing what to you?
Well, she called the police on the Masquerade ball, complaining about a gang and drugs and stuff that were not there. And people are worried that with her around, the Masquerade might break.
She's certainly persistent enough.
Is this like a personal grudge thing, or?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know how her brain works.
She likes to call this one's van, sits in my parking lot. She does not like that van at all. She cares too much about her community, and she's becoming a pain in the arse.
Understanding kind of dawns on his face, and she's like, oh, okay, she's getting real nosy. She's found some suspects she can torture, and she's getting too close to finding out some things she shouldn't. Okay. And
exactly.
She's very well entrenched in part of the community, so yeah, this will take some surgical precision. All right. And
If
this
we
is
could
the
just
boon you
kill
want.
her, that'd be too easy.
Of course not.
And
so the boon you want in return is for me to make this problem go away quietly and safely.
Yes, as quietly, because unfortunately it's a small town. People talk too much.
Of course.
And
I'll be honest, before my child attacked you, I probably would have asked for a little bit more of a favor in return, or have you owe me a boon. But I think I owe you a bit more for dealing with that. So I will do this for you, and we will be even. If that is fine, if that is acceptable to you.
oh, absolutely.
Excellent. Yes, I think I know of a way we can put her on the defensive and make her not so much a problem for the rest of you. Yes, I will do this. And he reaches out to shake your hand, Gabriel.
He offers his hand as well.
He takes it with a firm grip, more than you expect from a... Like, you're a very strong vampire, but he, like, almost matches it with how strong his grip is. And he says, pleasure doing business. I hope we can work together in the future.
Yes, hopefully not involving a rampant child.
Certainly. No, he's going to be taking a nap for a while. And he kind of
Also
he kind of taps the center of his chest as he says that.
Stake through the heart.
And I kind of assumed that, but that made it really obvious.
Yeah.
All right. And
well, thank you for your hospitality. We'll be on our way.
And feel free to keep the blood bags, Mr. Bright.
I intended on it. That was my intention.
All right. And with that done, you all, in your own ways, I imagine, make your way back to Sedona before the sun rises.
We're on a highway to hell.
Oh, good.
Are we just listening to this on repeat?
Until you come up with a better idea.
Well, I mean,
you go through the whole album, obviously, but
You come up with a better idea. You are more than welcome to change the radio. I'm not hearing one though.
I mean, I'm personally a fan of Thunderstruck myself, but you know,
I just find it funny.
Oh no, it's hilarious. I'm not complaining.
All right. And I guess that leads us into the denouement.
The aftermath.
Yep. There's a couple more incidents in the following weeks where you have the cops called on you at inconvenient times. But then, news comes out.
Is there ever a convenient time to deal with the cops?
No, not really. News comes out that the New Dawn Homeowners Association was basically forcing their constituent members to sign contracts that weren't legally enforceable because they on paper prevented them from filing any complaints with the Arizona Department of Real Estate, which is supposed to like handle complaints about homeowners associations. Bless you.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
And they were trying to like pass themselves off as a not just a quasi-governmental entity, but a actually governmental entity, which they are not.
Oh.
And so even though the complaints would have to go through their system and get squashed, and no one would like try to take it any higher, or would basically they were just like trying
Have you
to
been spying on my job, because I've had to deal with these things before, actually.
It's a thing that happens unfortunately frequently, where they just try to, a entity tries to give the appearance of being all powerful that you can't fight against, when it's not, and it's also kind of illegal to present yourself that way. And
yeah,
so,
well, it doesn't stop people from trying, though.
Yeah. So the New Dawn Homeowners Association is suddenly on the defensive especially as the homeowners realize that they have legal options to have their complaints heard. So
wait, I could sue these guys?
Yeah. So naturally, Catherine McKenzie stops being a nuisance, because now she has to be on the defensive and be the picture of uprightness. So,
or at least give the appearance.
And over the next months, the Homeowners Association becomes less and less powerful. Her husband's reputation takes a hit as well, and their re-election to council prospects look not great. So eventually,
And I imagine.
Oh, yep.
Oh, sorry. I imagine that Kazimer is quietly helping whatever opponents are running against him.
Oh, yes. You've got enough financial power to play the field with the local politics. And yeah, with their prospects looking not great, they decide to retire and move away by the following year.
And then Kazimer quickly snaps up their house when it goes on sale.
Yep, the New Dawn Homeowners Association weakens to the point of being toothless. No one involved actually faces any real consequences for what happened, but they're gone, so whatever. And that's how it goes in a small town.
We've done the small town a great service at the very least.
Yeah, honestly, like everyone's breathing a little bit easier now that at least one of the 3 or 4 homeowners associations has been weakened a bit, and the others kind of had to straighten up a bit as the investigators were in town. So
works for us.
In some small way, things are a little bit better in Sedona, Arizona.
You defeated a great evil.
The greatest evil of all time.
By
Your
calling on
heroes
someone
have
else to do it for
tried.
you.
Eventually
I mean,
get
we did
people
some
calling.
groundwork.
It's like, how do you defeat Karens again? Like,
Defeated is the monster, exactly.
Yeah. Yes.
And that brings our chronicle, the Blood Virulent, to a close. Thank you
A very
all.
entertaining close.
Thank you all so much for thank you to my players for playing. Thank you for listening, the rest of you. This has been very fun.
And
Very
thank you,
weird ride.
Spud, for hosting.
Yes,
You're
thank
quite
you.
welcome.
You're a great storyteller.
Ah, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. I guess just as by way of like post-mortem, how did everyone feel about this little mini campaign in general?
It was fun.
It was fun and enjoyable.
I'm glad.
I figured it was going to be amusing, but I kind of underestimated it.
This. I mean, I know I said in session 0 that we can't like set out and plan to be funny, but this was kind of a funny campaign.
Yeah.
I mean, it just the opportunities were right there in front of us.
I killed 2 people in rapid succession.
Which is, I
Yeah,
feel like
was
that's
fun.
kind of what you set out to do, and I'm glad I could fulfill that for you.
Surprisingly badass.
Dr. Red's character sheet, ambition to kill 2 people in rapid succession.
Yeah, I definitely feel like
I
you as a
got
player
the
wanted to
lead.
be the maximum badass, so I'm glad I was able to give you an opportunity towards the end.
Yeah.
I
To be
got
fair, I also got a taste of it last session as well.
Oh yeah. My
I
current story
got
is
to be
tragic,
a-
but not for me.
We still
Not
need
for
to put
me.
that on a shirt somewhere.
Yep. And 2 murders in Sedona, and also 2 murders in Phoenix. Yeah, you got away with that just fine.
Yeah.
That's the world of darkness, baby. All right.
Sometimes shit happens, and sometimes it's not to the players.
All right. Well, I think that'll do it for our broadcast today. This has
Thank you
been
again, Spud.
yeah, you're very welcome, and thank you. I'm really happy with our first foray into the world of darkness. I think it went very well, and I think we made it ours in a way that was very rewarding. Thank
Maybe
you.
someday we'll take another look at it.
Yeah, maybe. In the meantime, thank you for listening to our Spudventures. If you like what you heard, you can find more at youtube.com/Newbiespud or wherever you get your fine podcasts at Spudventures on iTunes, Google Play, or Spotify, etc. We aim to livestream these games every Sunday around 2 p.m. Pacific time at twitch.tv/Newbiespud. If you want to keep up with this and other projects I'm doing, you can follow me on Twitter at Newbiespud. And if you want to support my ability to produce content like this, please consider supporting me at patreon.com/Newbiespud. See you next time with another session of Shadow Trot.